The rain had just stopped when Daniel Reed, the well-known single dad CEO, walked into the small corner cafe, seeking a rare moment of peace, away from boardrooms and pressure. The warm smell of roasted beans filled the air as he removed his coat, shaking off light drops of rain. His expression was tired yet polished, his eyes carrying the weight of too many late nights spent balancing life work and raising his young son alone. Inside the cozy space, every seat seemed taken except for one table near the window. A young girl sat there in a wheelchair with a soft blanket over her legs, gazing outside as though tracing the sky that had just cleared. Her hair was tied loosely, her eyes bright with a gentle mix of loneliness and quiet hope. The moment she noticed him approaching, she straightened, a little, her cheeks warming. She lifted her hand slightly, offering him a shy smile. "I saved this seat for you," she said, in a voice that was soft yet certain, as if she had been waiting for him. Daniel paused, surprised by her words. He glanced around, realizing indeed it was the only free spot. He gave a polite nod and moved toward the chair opposite her. "Thank you," he said, though his tone held a question he did not voice. She watched him settle into the seat, her gaze studying him with subtle admiration. "I see you pass here often. Every morning you always look like you are carrying a whole world on your shoulders, so I thought maybe today you might need a seat that waits for you instead of a seat you have to search for." Her words struck something deep in him, something warm, something forgotten. "What is your name?" he asked gently. "Lena," she replied, touching the metal armrest of her wheelchair as though reminding herself of her own anchor. Then, with a small playful lift of her brows, "And you are Daniel Reed, the busy CEO who never smiles unless someone mentions his son." He blinked, a little surprised. She laughed lightly. "I notice things. It keeps the loneliness away." Daniel felt an unexpected pull toward her presence. She had a way of speaking that wrapped softness around hard truths, a way of seeing more than people showed, a way of making the room feel warmer simply by paying attention. The rain outside softened into a mist, and the golden lights of the cafe reflected gently across the window between them. An unspoken thread began to tighten, forming the first hint of something unexpected, something neither had come looking for but both suddenly needed. Daniel found himself leaning forward, drawn by the warm sincerity. In Lena's eyes she had a delicate confidence, a quiet strength that seemed to glow from within. He felt oddly seen by her in a way that rarely happened in his world, where people measured him by status and decisions. She, however, looked at him like he was simply a man trying to make life work. Lena tapped the edge of her mug with her finger before speaking again. "You know, I watch people a lot. I imagine stories for them, and yours always felt heavy yet filled with heart. I was curious who you were beyond the sharp suit and determined walk." Daniel softened at her honesty. "I am just someone doing his best. I guess life has been a mix of running and rebuilding. Since my wife passed 4 years ago, raising my son alone has been the hardest and the most important thing I have ever done." Her expression softened with quiet empathy. "That must have shaped you in ways most people do not see. You carry grief like someone who learned to breathe while hurting." He held her gaze, appreciating her ability to read him so effortlessly. There was no pity in her words, only understanding. "And you?" Daniel asked gently. "Tell me something about you." Lena took a slow breath, touching the wheel of her chair. "I have been in this chair for 2 years, a car accident, a drunk driver. One moment I was walking home from dance class, and the next I was waking up in a hospital, trying to understand why my legs felt like shadows I could no longer reach." Daniel felt a tug in his chest, but she lifted her hand as if saying, "Do not feel sorry for me." "But I learned something," she continued. "Life does not always give movement, but it gives meaning if you look for it. I come here every day because watching the world helps me stay connected, even when I cannot chase it physically. I chase it through people." Daniel felt a pull toward her, that magnetic quiet beauty that comes from someone who has survived something and still chooses warmth. She had resilience stitched into her voice, hope woven through her smile. When the barista approached with 2 pastries, Lena tilted her head toward Daniel and said, "I ordered an extra one for you. I just felt like today you might need a small piece of something sweet." He smiled softly, the first genuine smile he had offered a stranger in a long time. Outside, the clouds parted, letting a soft band of sunlight fall across their table, illuminating them both as though the world itself was gently nudging two lonely souls closer. The cafe grew busier, yet somehow the world around their table felt suspended, holding a pocket of stillness just for them. Daniel felt his shoulders dropping, the rigid tension he always carried fading as they continued to talk. Lena had a way of turning simple conversation into emotional depth, and he found himself opening up in ways he rarely allowed. She asked about his son, and his eyes softened. "My boy is 8. His name is Evan. Bright, curious, full of questions, and he is the only reason I get out of bed every morning." Lena's smile warmed. "That sounds like a beautiful love, a love that anchors a life." Her gaze then drifted down to her lap where her blanket rested. "Sometimes I think people see the chair before they see me. They assume my life has stopped. But I still dream, I still want things, I still believe something beautiful can walk into my day even if I cannot walk toward it." Daniel felt a warmth rise in his chest. "Lena, you are one of the strongest people I have ever met. Strength is not measured by steps, it is measured by the soul that keeps going, even when the body cannot." Her cheeks tinted softly as she looked away, shy yet glowing from his words. "You say things like that and it makes the world feel brighter around you, Daniel Reed." He glanced at her hands resting lightly on her wheels, delicate yet steady. He had never felt such a mix of admiration, tenderness, and pull so quickly. Lena leaned slightly closer, her voice gentle. "Tell me something honest. Something you have never told a stranger." He hesitated, a rare vulnerability flickering through him. Then he said, "I am tired of being strong all the time. I am tired of pretending I do not miss companionship. I am tired of carrying everything alone." Her eyes softened like velvet depth. "Daniel, you are allowed to want someone beside you. You are allowed to feel lonely. You are human, not stone." He looked at her with a quiet intensity, his voice low. "And you, Lena, what do you want?" She blinked slowly, her voice almost a whisper. "I want someone to sit with me without seeing a chair. I want someone to choose me not out of pity but out of connection. I want someone who makes my days feel less like waiting and more like living." Their gazes locked. A soft electric pull hummed between them, neither of them speaking yet. Everything inside them speaking at once. The afternoon light warmed the cafe as if blessing the growing connection. Between them, Daniel felt a strange sense of comfort settling inside him, a feeling he had not experienced since before his wife passed, a sense of being understood, seen, valued. It was powerful and unexpected. Lena watched him with gentle curiosity, her voice soft. "I meant it earlier, I saved this seat for you. I do not know why, I just felt like someday someone who needed a quiet moment might sit here, and that person turned out to be you." Daniel felt his breath catch slightly as emotions swelled inside him. "Lena, there is something about you, something steady, something healing. You make me feel like I can breathe without pressure for the first time in years." Her lashes fluttered slightly as she looked down, touched by his sincerity. "I am glad you sat here today, Daniel. I am glad our paths touched in this small corner of the world." He reached across the table slowly, giving her time to pull back, but she did not. His hand gently covered hers, warm, steady grounding. She looked at their joined hands, then back at him, her eyes shining with something soft, tender, and quietly radiant. Daniel's voice dropped to a deep, gentle tone. "Lena, would you like to meet my son someday? He would adore you, and I would like to see you again, not just here, but anywhere you want." Her smile grew slow and warm like sunrise spreading across her face. "I would love that, Daniel, truly." Outside, the street glimmered with the soft glow of dusk. Life continued beyond the window, yet inside the cafe, two souls who had lived with quiet loneliness found something unexpected, beginning a connection. A spark that neither had dared hope for. Lena lifted her gaze, meeting his fully. "Daniel, I saved this seat for you today, but maybe tomorrow you will save one for me." He squeezed her hand lightly, the warmth of his touch speaking more than words ever could, and for the first time in a long time both of them felt like tomorrow might finally hold something worth looking forward to.